You go, Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
My blanket, my blue blanket, give me my blue blanket.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
And we are back with another episode of the most quotable films of all time, this time starting with the letter P. And by popular vote, by a landslide, you guys all voted for Pulp Fiction, understandably so. Definitely one of the most quotable. And looking forward to getting into this one with you. So I started last week. So you want to start us off with your number 5 this week?
Yeah, I just found this one a little harder because of the all the effing and stuff that they were saying in the movie.
Sure.
So I tried to keep away from that. So
How is that possible?
I know how is that possible?
Yeah. Okay.
Even though my number 5 is not, politically
Oh
correct.
boy. Okay.
Yes, but
So you're okay with the N word, but not the F word? Is that what's happening?
uh, yeah, that's right. And the N was in it. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Wait, I don't think the F word is in this one.
All
Okay,
right.
so Jules says,
You remember Antoine Rockamora, half black, half Samoan, used to call him Tony Rocky Howard?
Yeah, maybe fat, right?
I wouldn't go so far as to call the brother fat. I mean, he got a weight problem. What's the nigga gonna do? He's Samoan.
I forgot about that, but that's part of the whole foot massage
Yeah.
discussion, right? Okay. Yeah. Samoan. That's good stuff. Okay. So so my number 5 is close to that time frame. It's when they go in to the guys that stole the briefcase and leading up to a later part, but this is he asks them what kind of burger he's eating, and he tells them it's a big kahuna burger, and then he says, do you mind if I take a bite? And then he bites it and says,
This is a tasty burger.
so I just had to have that line.
I'm only laughing because you're laughing.
But like truly that whole scene, which I have more of that scene later, but
Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of funny stuff is the way they say it. And we
exactly
can't really say it the way they say it.
right.
Although you were pretty accurate on the way
Yeah.
you
But
quoted that.
well, see, that's one that I actually quote in real life. Like whenever I have a really good burger, sometimes I do say that. So thank you, Samuel Jackson. So what's your number 4?
My number 4, Jules is thinking about retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So he says,
Basically, I'm just gonna walk the earth.
What you mean walk the earth?
You know, like Kane in Kung Fu.
That's good. So that's where you ended yours. Okay, with the kung fu, because it doesn't Vincent go on to say you're gonna be a bum or something like that afterwards, right? Yeah, that's good stuff. That's towards the end of the movie too, I think. The order of the movie I always get mixed up too, because
well, you can't tell if it was the end or the middle or whatever.
right, part of the genius, some would say, of Tarantino. But all right, so my number 4 is another short one, and it's it's a line that always just comes to mind when I think of this movie, and it's Zed says,
Bring out the gimp.
which still I really have no idea what the point of the gimp even is. Like coming out
Well,
of the little
he was in that black suit
right,
that was like covering his face.
right.
Well, actually, his whole body was one big black leather suit.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure he becomes part of their crazy homosexual sexcapades in some way, but sadly, the Gimp never gets to have any fun in this movie. So, but yeah, classic line. So, what's your number three?
My number three is, and a lot of this humor is like deadpan humor.
Right.
So this is Fabian and a Butch thing.
Okay.
So Fabian says,
Whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Yes, that was an honorable mention for me. Yeah, that whole thing is great. Zed's dead, baby. You know, I just saw a recent interview with Tarantino. I guess he wrote a book recently, and he's on a tour, and he was telling somebody, he was explaining how Bruce Willis got cast in the movie, which is kind of a fascinating story because he was so famous at the time that and Tarantino was still kind of an up and coming filmmaker, but I guess the script got to him and he wanted to play the Jules character, but he already had Travolta picked out for that, and then he wanted to play or I'm sorry, Vincent. He wanted to play Vincent. Then he wanted to play Jules, the Samuel Jackson character. And he's like, wait, just think about Butch and then let me know. And then he still was like, okay, I'm in. So pretty cool story. But yeah, he's great as Butch. I couldn't imagine anyone else but him now in that role. So
yeah, and he's so quiet throughout the
Right.
movie until she forgets the watch. That's the only time he
Yes.
explodes.
right. The whole Christopher Walken speech, which that's an honorable mention. I did not put that on my list, but that whole watch speech is so classic, man. I love it. So all right, so we're already at my number three. Going back to the Gimp scene.
I ain't through with you by a damn sight. I'm gonna get medieval on your ass.
So all right, what's your number two?
I have part of the watch thing.
Ah, I thought that's why you were being silent when I
Yeah,
mentioned
no.
it. Okay.
So Captain Coon says,
The way your dad looked at it, this watch was your birthright. You'd be damned if any slope's gonna put the greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright. So he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass. 5 long years he wore this watch, up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. Give me the watch. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Then, after 7 years, I was sent home to my family. And now, little man, I give the watch to you.
I'm glad that you picked this because I just felt like it was long, but then again, I think my 2 and 1 are probably equally as long. So yeah, because there's the thing with Quentin's dialogue is you gotta sometimes give it the room to breathe because yeah, that's classic. But my number 2 is in the beginning of the movie when Vincent and Jules are talking about hamburgers again with the hamburgers. And he's telling them what they're called in Europe. But prior to that dialogue, he's talking about how in Amsterdam the cops can get in trouble for searching you. And so there's the ending of that dialogue is where I start mine because I love how Travolta says,
No, baby, you dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is?
What?
It's the little differences. I mean, they got the same shit over there that they got here, but it's just there, it's a little different.
Example.
All right, well, you can walk into a movie theater in Amsterdam and buy a beer. And I don't mean just like no paper cup, I'm talking about a glass of beer. And in Paris, you can buy beer in McDonald's. And you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
So that's my two. So what's your number one?
My number one is not funny. It's not supposed to be a joke.
Okay.
Mia says,
Three tomatoes are walking down the street. Papa tomato, mama tomato, and baby tomato. Baby tomato starts lagging behind, and Papa tomato gets really angry. Goes back and squishes him. Says, ketchup.
Yep, not funny.
I know. But the thing was, the funny part is that Travolta wanted to know what the joke was.
Right.
And she kept not telling him what the joke was.
Yeah.
And then
the
she
build
finally
up to
told
it.
him the joke.
Right. Yeah, after she went through her whole ordeal of drug overdose and
Oh God,
the needle in the heart. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, just the sequence with her and Travolta makes this movie a classic. I mean, the dance scene at the restaurant and their dialogue once again, you know, leading up to this stupid joke, and then the crazy drug part. I mean, it's just insane. So good pick. Okay. So my number one, going back to my number five, the tasty burger, continuing from there, this is another kind of 2-in-1 for me, because it ends with him doing the Ezekiel Bible verse right before he kills him. But leading up to that, he asks them what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What? What country you from? What? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Yes. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He's black. Go on. He's bald. Does he look like a bitch? What? Does he look like a bitch? No! Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett? He didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett? Yes. Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Only Samuel Jackson could have done that. And to think that Bruce Willis wanted to play that part, that would have been very interesting. So yeah, all right, this is a pretty good list. Now, do you have any honorable mentions before we put it together? I think we hit on mine. The Chris Walken speech for sure was one that stood out to me, but there's all kinds of stuff.
I mean, this thing where Esmeralda says, what is your name? And Butch says Butch. And then Esmeralda says, what does it mean? And Butch says, I'm American, honey. Our names don't mean shit.
That's right, the taxi driver girl.
And there was a lot of wolf scenes, you know.
Oh, the wolf, the Harvey Keitel,
Yeah, with the wolf and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. I thought of some of that stuff too.
Yeah, and then the wolf goes, Jimmy, lead the way. boys, get to work. And then Vincent goes, a please would be nice. And then the wolf goes, come again? And Vincent said, I said, a please would be nice. And
Yeah.
then the wolf says, get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you'd better fucking do it and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. And then Jules goes, no, Mr. Wolf, it ain't like that. Your help is definitely appreciated. And then Vincent goes, I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't like people barking orders at me. And the wolf says, if I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So
pretty please with sugar on top.
Clean the fucking car.
Yes. Harvey Keitel. Gotta love him. And yeah, he was one of those actors. He had been in Reservoir Dogs, so he was like one of the big names to sign on first for Pulp Fiction, I think. So great stuff. All right, so this is gonna be tough. So I think number one, since we had none in common once again, Ezekiel, I think, has to be above Mia, because it's just like, it's so awesome. So we'll have Ezekiel at 1, Mia at 2. Then it's between The Watch and Royale with Cheese. I'll give you The Watch at 3, because that was my honorable mention, and it is, Walking is so great. Anytime Walking is great. So now it's between who's Zed, or who's motorcycle scene, and going medieval on his ass. This is tough, but I'll let you decide. What do you think? Because it revolves around the same scene, basically. It's just the aftermath. It's either Marcellus or Bruce Willis. I think we should give it to Bruce. I'll give you the Zed's dead.
Okay.
And we can always do what we did with was it the last episode where we gave him 6?
Yeah, we could do 6.
All right, let's give Marcellus Wallace at number 6. Because yeah, there's just way too many good ones. So that's a well-rounded list. All right. So here we go. The 6 best quotes of Pulp Fiction according to 3 and 4 in order right now.
I ain't through with you by damn sight. I'm gonna get medieval on your ass.
Whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. No, baby. You dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is?
What?
It's the little differences. I mean, they got the same shit over there that they got here, but it's just there. It's a little different.
Example.
All right, well, you can walk into a movie theater in Amsterdam and buy a beer. And I don't mean just like no paper cup. I'm talking about a glass of beer. And in Paris, you can buy beer in McDonald's. And you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh, man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
The way your dad looked at it, this watch was your birthright. You'd be damned if any slope's gonna put the greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright. So he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass. 5 long years he wore this watch, up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. Give me the watch. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Then, after 7 years, I was sent home to my family. And now, little man, I give the watch to you.
3 tomatoes are walking down the street. Papa tomato, mama tomato, and baby tomato. Baby tomato starts lagging behind, and Papa tomato gets really angry. Goes back and squishes him. Says, ketchup.
What?
What What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Does he look like a bitch?
No!
Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett?
He didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett?
Yes.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Yeah. Great list. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And we didn't even have Honey Bunny on there, the couple that robbed the diner. When
Yeah,
there's
well,
a few
to
different
me,
ways
the girl is always screaming stuff.
right. Yes.
You know, when the guy was like real cool.
Right.
But I mean, the better scene out of that whole thing was with Samuel.
Yeah, telling her to
Jackson
cool out. Yeah.
Right, and the sitting down talking.
Mhm. Yes, of course. And taking his wallet and all that.
Yeah, and
So-
then what he said was, you know, go in and get my wallet. And he said, which wallet is yours? And he said, the one that says, I can't remember.
It's bad mother.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. So classic, man. All right, so now we got to pick the top 4 movies starting with the letter R, which this is tough because there's a lot of great ones. So since you went first on the quotes, I'll give you my 4 first, which is Rounders, the poker movie.
What are we doing, 4?
Yeah. So Rounders, I picked that mainly because just all the scenes with John Malkovich as the Russian guy are hilarious. So that's my 4. What's your 4?
Rocky.
Ooh, good pick. Did not make mine. Okay. My number 3 for sure won't be on yours. It is Rushmore.
What is it?
Rushmore. The Wes Anderson movie.
Oh, okay.
For sure not on yours. So what's your 3?
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. The all the Alan Rickman scenes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right. My number 2 may also not be on yours, but it's The Room.
Actually, I put that on my list as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, you have
number
it down.
7.
Okay. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Okay, cool. What's your number 2?
But I can only remember the one line from that movie that was constantly repeated.
Of course.
Real genius.
Ah, very good. I think that would have been my number 5. Yeah, lots of good stuff there. All right. My number 1 is Raising Arizona. Not on yours? Again, nothing
That
in
was
common.
number 8,
Okay. All right. So what's your number 1?
Rain Man.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Okay. So, well, this will be easy to just pick our top twos, I guess. So we got Rain Man, Raising Arizona, Real Genius, and The Room. Yes. I shudder to think what might win here, since The Room is quite beloved in many circles of the world as being a very quotable movie. So
Yeah, probably in the Atlanta area.
yeah. Hey, they have a showing, I think monthly up in Athens at the theater, still to this day. Well, I don't know, after COVID, maybe not. But bless you. So here are your top 4 options: Rain Man, Raising Arizona, Real Genius, and The Room. Be sure to vote either in the comments below or on Johnny Radio's poll, and we will do that one next time. So great episode as always, and we'll see you then. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.